What's been the key, and maybe I'm going to start with Frederick Anderson and what he has meant to this club, at least in the last 3 victories?
Well, I just think overall he just gives us an opportunity. I really liked his game in Carolina. I mean, the first goal wasn't probably even a scoring chance, and you know, as a goalie, you don't want to give it up. But then he was able to shut the door for us, and you know, neither team got a ton of chances, but there were still shots, and so you know, I appreciate the fact that you're able to shut the door and give the guys a chance.
Mike, can you tell at times when a goalie's on his game, whether it's snapping pucks out of the air or rebound control, that just the confidence with which you're playing?
Well, obviously, I think when you get her going, you feel good about yourself. That's for all players, and you know, you want your ups to be longer than your downs. I think the more skill you have and the more mentally tough you are, your dips are fewer and farther between. And so, obviously, Andy's done a good job.
When you have a stretch like this, a road trip where you're allowed a little downtime, you take a few morning skates up. Is it mental rest? Is it physical rest? A combination of both? What's the biggest benefit?
Yeah, both. I mean, I talk a lot to Jeremy Vidal, our head of sports science, about what we're trying to do. There's a fine line between keeping the motor running and then being away from the rink. But the other thing that has to happen, if you don't play good, you go to the rink. Period. It's just that simple. So the ball's in their court, and you know, no one minds a little downtime as long as you're ready to play when the puck's dropped at night.
Does it feel like a bit of a luxury given the pace of the schedule prior to this? And
well, obviously, I said to someone like last night, the most sleep I've had. I don't know. I mean, just you got the time to prepare, and so the players got to be feeling the same. But you know, obviously, we play a lot of hockey in a short period of time, and so we have a little opportunity now to get as fresh as we can, and we're trying to.
Florida always seems to get their chances regardless of the opposition. How do you limit the quality of those chances?
Well, they got a real good skill level on this team. High-end skill. Their D really jump. You know, 3 centers that I think really give you trouble. So we're going to have to play well without the puck and stay patient. And as long as we do that, we're going to get our opportunities against them for sure.
In the small body of work that you've had to coach Brian Boyle, what have you learned about him?
Well, I think obviously he's done a good job for us. Suddenly we have 4 lines that you can roll out the door and you don't have to worry about. Second thing I'd say is just leadership. Saying the right thing in the room and on the bench, I think, are important. And to me, you have to have been around a certain amount of winning to have the right thing to say. How else do you get it? And so he's a guy who's been in a lot of you know, playoff games, to say the least. You bring in Eric Ferrer along with Smitty, who's won cups. I think those are important guys to have in your room and around your young guys.
Thank you.
He demands a lot from NASA in terms of playing the game right way, and they bump heads because of that. Do you see any impact on Leo having, you know, pushing NASA to be a more confident player?
Well, for sure. I think that's one of the reasons I play with Naz. He's yelling at Naz all the time, which is important. They're fighting all the time. They're really good buddies, but they push each other to be better, and I think that's a big part of Leo's job here.